everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with a 2-page Tuesday layout. So I'm going to use these lake photos here and I'm going to stick with kind of aquas and blues. My polka dot paper that I'm popping onto the layout right there is some Doodlebug Dragon Tails Dragon Dots paper. And then I'm using this blue, not navy, more I guess royal blue paper. And that's the Doodlebug Dragon Tails friendly fleet paper, and I'm punching that with my EK Success embossed dot punch there. And that paper does kind of have almost a wave design to it, so I thought that was really appropriate here because I am doing photos of a lake, so it just gives it more of a water feature. So then I'll do that both sides. This is the border punch that Chamel likes to use or like to use. I haven't seen it quite as much lately, but one of her favorites. It doesn't actually emboss that dot unless you press really hard. At least most of the time it doesn't. And even if I see it, it doesn't really bother me. Now I cut quite a large strip of it. Part of that is because of the direction. I wanted it to look like waves on the paper or scallops kind of. And so that kind of made a big difference with, but I also wanted to keep the border strip at the bottom so I knew what it was. So what I'm doing here is I decided I wanted to maybe use some of that at the top. So I just cut some off. I think I cut about 3 inches there. So I'm going to use my T-square ruler here, and not very successfully because I didn't get it on straight. Then I have to pull it off and put it back on, so that, that's all a little bit crazy, but that's okay. It is what it is. All right, so now I'm going to put that down and I'm just going to work with one side at a time here. I have a row of the vertical photos at the top, and then on the 2 sides I have something a little bit different. So I have horizontal photos on the right side, and then on the left side I have more vertical photos. And my plan and thought here is that on the right side, this will go all the way across the 6 inches across the paper. Obviously, these 3 photos go all the way across, so that makes sense if the dotted paper and the scallop and everything follows that across. And then I'm thinking I'll cut it a little bit shorter here on the left side because it's only 2 photos wide versus 3 photos wide. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put a journaling card up there and then just cut that a little bit shorter. So they're not completely 4 inches wide there on the 3 vertical photos there. And you get a nice view of my top of my head there. I'm ready here for a highlight again. Anyway, you can also tell this is a Sunday that I'm creating this because I have my Packers jersey on. Not to spoil it, but they did win that day. And you'll be seeing this months later. So anyway. Now, I told you my idea was that I would cut that a little bit shorter, and guess what? I forgot I was going to do that. So now I'm gluing it all down, and I won't remember that for quite a while. But I kind of like sometimes when those things end and so they don't go all the way across. I am having to flip this. I'm just using the other layout to line it up, and it's not going to meet exactly, but I use ring binders to store the ring binder style albums to store my projects, my pages, so that it doesn't really matter if they're not exact because, hey, I'm not... it's not exact anyway because they're not butted up in the middle. If you use those, by the way, and you want a 2-page layout together, you can sew them together in the middle across where they would go into the rings. So that's just a little tip if that bothers you. And if you have 2-page layouts, I do so many single-page layouts, it's fine for me. So anyway, the one thing I didn't talk about here is that aqua crosshatch paper, which is the background paper. You've probably been waiting. Kelly, stop just talking to us. Do that. That paper is the Doodlebug Petite Prints in the swimming pool gingham linen paper. So now I am looking for a card. to journal on. And I don't have a lot to say. This is my grandson and his my daughter-in-law's dad. So they go quote up north in the state I live every year, and they're far enough north that they did go to Lake Superior this year. So they do lots of fun things together for the week. He's the oldest of my 4 grandchildren, and he's been doing this with his grandpa for a couple years now. I am suspecting that maybe next year or the year after that, the second of the kids will join them in that. So I'm liking that awesome card because I don't have a heck of a lot to say, just a little bit, about how they went to visit the lake on this particular day. And they are standing in the lake at one point. If you know anything about Lake Superior, you know how cold that possibly was on that day, because it's not unusual for that lake, even in the summer, to still be in the 40s. I think it's been a while since I've been up there, but it's really cold. Like, you put your legs in and it is it's bone chilling cold, like your legs almost get numb. Now, they are standing in more of a shallow bay, so that will help, but it's kind of interesting the way that can work. Anyway, that journaling card is from Elle Studio. And then I am using a Puffy Alpha that is also from Elle Studio. And it's a little bit harder to see it here on camera, but it's really easy to actually read when you're looking at it. So I'm going to title this Lake Superior. And then I kind of realize as I am looking at this that will leave a lot of the word superior hanging out, and not, the title will be really, really unbalanced the way I'm doing this. So I'm figuring I can perhaps put the word 2019 or the numbers for 2019 in front of it, and that'll make it a little bit more balanced. And it brings the top out a little bit, so it's not so stair-steppy looking. I wouldn't, by the way, if I had cut the top layers there, the dotted paper, a little bit shorter, I wouldn't have had much to work with there. So often what I will do if that happens is like that journaling card might only be on part of it. Like I could have cut that layer short enough that maybe it would only have been in the middle of the journaling card, although maybe 3/4 of the way into the left side of it, if that makes any sense. So it would have been cut in probably like to over, kind of like through the word awesome. The dotted paper would have run that way. And then I could have still put 2019 Lake Superior on there if I wanted to, or I could have put it maybe over on the bottom right side. Which, I'm sorry, you guys, I thought that when I did this, I pushed everything over so you could see all the way to the right side. I'm going to need to change my camera angle a little bit so that when I looked at my phone, it looked okay, but I'm not sure it really is okay. We'll see as I start to decorate these pages. So I'm just kind of looking here to see what's available to me, and I went through some Chamel book, and I didn't have any labels or anything I could use. So this is an Amy Tangerine sticker book from Better Together. And I'm just going to use that one phrase there because I pulled out these Chamel phrase stickers from that Chamel hashtag sticker book. I was doing that while I was kind of glancing through it. And the one on the bottom by the journaling card there says be fearless. The other one at the top there on that page says so beautiful. The one on the top on the right page says free spirit, and the one next to the little banner label sticker says today rocks. So I thought all those were sort of appropriate, like be fearless, because be fearless, put your legs in even though it's going to be freezing cold. So I thought that was kind of cute. My own little personal joke, having been there and stuck my legs in. And then I'm gonna just add some, I added some leaf stickers here, and those were from the hashtag sticker book as well. Just a little nature coming in there because there are trees in this. And then I'm adding these puffy star stickers from Elle Studio, the puffy star stickers, which there's been many versions of those. They come out with those every so often, so you just grab them. These are older ones, and I'm almost done. I need to pull this, probably should pull this out and put it in my batch of stuff I want to use up. All right, guys, there is the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and I will be back with another layout again soon. Bye.